Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Sarah and today I am sharing my weekly makeup basket with you. I feel like I'm on a pretty good pattern where one week I will put in a bunch of different products and give myself lots of options, and then the next week I kind of pare it down a little bit and I really decide which of those items I like and want to focus on a little bit more. And then a couple weeks later I'll do the same thing. I'll end up putting in a bunch of products so I have a bunch of options again. So last week I did add a bunch of different options. I had a ton of different lip colors and a ton of different eyeliners that I put in just so I would have some variety. And as is what I'm noticing the pattern, I decided to go ahead and pare that down again this week. So I've just got a couple of different lip colors to share with you, and I'm really paring a lot of things down again this week. So let me go ahead and show you what I am going to be very intentional about focusing on this week. Okay, so for starters, I am going back to my e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer as my primer. This is the only full-size primer that I have in any projects, and I know that I've got a couple more months left on this project, but I do want to start making some good progress on it. So I'm gonna be using that as my only primer this week, and then I will, as per usual, be using the Clinique Beyond Perfecting as my only foundation for this week. Now, I will say it is going to warm up starting this weekend. I am in North Texas, so it is going to start getting warmer here pretty soon. And so I am going to be switching out my full coverage foundation. I will probably be using this a couple of days a week, but for the most part, I will probably be going to my IT Cosmetics CC cream for the majority of the time. So like I said, I'm just wanting to get some good use on this one for right now. My two concealers will not be a surprise to you. This is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser, and this is in the Brightener shade, and then my Sephora Gel Serum Concealer in the shade Buttercream. This one I use just for my under eyes, and then this one I do also use under my under eyes just to kind of even out my tone. I don't typically have a problem with blemishes, but if I did, then I could use this one all over my face for blemishes as well. I know I said I am paring down this week, but I have given myself several options for powders. So the first one is the e.l.f. Beautifully Bare Sheer Finishing Powder in Light Medium. This is typically my all over powder, but I did try the Hourglass Dim Light as just a highlighter last week, and I discovered that it doesn't really work well for me as a highlighter, so I am going to use it as an all over face powder this week. The reason I am keeping both of them in is because if this does not end up working for me as an all over face powder, I don't want to look ridiculous and, be walking around all week with a glitter face. So if this one doesn't work out, then I will switch back to the e.l.f. For this week as well. And then I have been using the last couple of weeks this Makeup Forever, and it's called the Ultra HD Micro Finishing Loose Powder, and I've been using this just to set those two concealers under my eyes, and I am really enjoying that so far. So lots of options for powders for this week. Because I will not be using that Hourglass as a highlighter, I am going back to my Becca Champagne Pop as my highlighter again this week, and I'm probably just going to use this one until it's finished. It is so close to being done. If you saw my Panning Games update, which was uploaded on the 1st, then you saw that this one broke again, and so there's not very much left in this. I didn't throw away the broken piece. I did keep it in here, but I haven't repressed it, so it's just kind of flaking, and there's not enough to make it worth repressing, but yeah, so I'll be using this until it's finished. I won't sub in another highlighter for that. And then another broken product that I have that I am working on is the Sephora Colorful Blush in the shade number 5, Sweet on You. I love this one. I have been using it Sometimes I use it by itself, sometimes I use just a cream blush, and then sometimes I use them together. This week, I really want to focus and see how much progress I can make on just the powder blush. So I am going to be using this by itself this week. And I'm also going to only be using one bronzer, which is pretty typical for me. I only use one bronzer, and it is still the Clinique bronzer in the shade 02 Sunkissed. I am really making some good progress on this Cover FX Illuminating Setting Spray. Dare I say, I feel like the end is in sight. When we started this project, I did not think that I was going to be able to use all of this in, I don't remember, I think it was like 7 or 8 months, the time frame that we had for the project this is in. But I really feel like I could finish this, and it's such a giant bottle, and you truly, truly do not need that much because it is such a fine mist. But I am making some good progress on this, and I think that I might be done sooner rather than later. For eyes, these two will be no surprise to you. I am using the e.l.f. eyeshadow primer, and my Pan That palette for the year is the Pure Cosmetics Soiree Diaries. This is the only eyeshadow that I am currently using, is just what's in my palette. Now this is a very neutral palette. That was kind of one of the reasons why I did put so many different eyeliners in last week, because I wanted to have a little bit of color options. And I do enjoy a pretty neutral look. I'm not typically one that goes for like a really bold eyeshadow, but I am really, really enjoying this palette. So while it is still a fairly new palette, I will only be working on this one, and I will not be adding in any additional shadows. So this is all you're gonna see from me in the shadow department for probably quite a while yet. As for the other eye products, I've got one of each. So, well, sort of one of each, I guess. My brow product is still the Essence Make Me Brow. This is an eyebrow gel, and it is the color of the container there. So while I do typically like a clear brow gel, this is not a clear brow gel. It goes on with this color, but then I do find that it dries pretty clear. I have one liquid liner to share with you and one pencil liner. This is the Steve Laurent, and this is a really nice, I think I've only been using this for maybe a week or two, but it's a really nice, I do want to show you the tip on it. It's super thin, so it makes a really precise line. If you don't like that, if you prefer more of a smudgy look, you would not like this because it is definitely very thin and very precise. But that is something that I like because otherwise I tend to make a mess of it. This is black, and then the other, the pencil liner that I'm hopefully finishing up this week. I'm really, really hoping that this is done by the end of the week. This is the Urban Decay 24/7 liner in the shade Smoke, and it's just a nice smoky gray. And then I do have my my set from Younique for my mascara again this week. This is the larger one on the bottom is the gel, and then the fibers are the one on top. Really, really enjoying this set. I had put in another mascara last week, but I found that I only used it once or twice, so I'm just gonna focus on this one for the time being. Last week was the first time I shared any perfume with you in quite a while. This is the My Burberry, and I did not, it's called the My Burberry Blush, and I did not have a chance to use this last week, so I've got it back in again for this week. Hopefully we'll be able to use that one. And then I have again really pared down in this category as well. This is for lips. I am going to be using these two little samples from Bite. One is the Agave Lip Balm and one is the Agave Sugar Lip Scrub. So this one here on top is the lip balm. This one here on the bottom is the Sugar Lip Scrub. And I just forgot that I was supposed to be using those this week, honestly, so that's why I didn't get to those. However, I have really been using this quite a bit this week. This is the NARS Rakugian, and I'm pretty sure everyone is familiar with this color. I did use that several times this week, as I mentioned. I will be using this again as my neutral this week, and then I'm also going to be using the Bite red velvet, which is actually what I have on my lips. You guys have seen this from me loads and loads. This is my very favorite red. So guys, that's everything that I have to share with you today. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me know what one product you are really focusing on this week. I would love to hear your comments and cheer you on down below. And if you are not subscribed, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel and come along. I mostly post 4 videos a week. There are some weeks when I don't get 4 videos up, but that is my goal, is 4 videos a week. So I would love to have you subscribe and join us. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you really soon. Bye.